This video is going to be a complete walkthrough of GoHighLevel's AI Employee, which is a collection of AI features really designed to automate a lot of the core functions of HighLevel and make lead generation really easy for small businesses. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dom and I joined HighLevel back in 2022. I've been using them pretty much exclusively. I hit the SaaSpreneur back in 2023 and it became a certified admin of HighLevel in 2024. And this guide is going to cover each feature that's included inside of AI Employee and how to use it, how it's priced for you, the HighLevel agency owner, and how you can resell it and price it for your agency clients. So stick around. All right, so we're here inside of HighLevel, and as you can see, once I logged into HighLevel, I have the Summer of AI promotion. It's when I'm filming this video. Generally, HighLevel will do this a couple times a year, where they have AI Employee free for 30 days. You can enable it on all of your sub accounts free for 30 days. Give everybody a trial to see how it runs, and they basically bill all of the AI costs for 30 days. I really enjoy it because you can run AI Employee for an entire month, and then it's not going to cost you anything. You can basically just play around for a month and learn the system. Now, Summer of AI promotion aside, again, you may or may not be watching this when it's active, or it might be a Winter of AI, Season of AI, whatever it is. They do this a couple times a year. I want to go through the 6 core features here and then one bonus feature down here on the bottom that's only available right now to agency owners, but they hopefully will be rolling it out to everybody. Basically, you can see that we've got Voice AI here on the phone, Conversation AI, which is anything text-based, think DMs and text messages. They've got Reviews AI, Funnel AI, Content AI, and Workflow Assistant. Now, I want to go through these individually, kind of show you how to use each one of them. Basically, Reviews AI is something you can go ahead, set and forget with Google reviews or Facebook reviews. It'll respond to all of those there as well. Funnel AI, if you're not really a big funnel builder, you can use Funnel AI to build you a funnel template really simply in a couple of minutes, and then all you have to do is just customize it to your particular business purpose. Content AI is a really good copywriter that's inside. You can explain it what kind of copy that you want to use. It's pretty ubiquitous throughout the whole platform. If you need an image on a sales page, you can use AI to generate an image. And then Workflow Assistant will help you build smarter automations without having to worry about what happens. Again, we'll get into there. I'll show you how that is. But Ask AI is a new feature right now inside of HighLevel, only available to agency admins or people who have unlimited subscriptions. So you'll see it up here in the top right, this little stars up here. If you click it, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put basically ChatGPT directly into HighLevel and have it trained on everything that's inside the sub account. Right now, I can only do a couple of different things. I'll actually link to the support documentation down below this video, but right now it is super basic. I actually didn't even know it existed until I went to go start filming this, and I saw Ask AI, and I was like, what's that? I had to do some research on it. So it's brand new. You're seeing it the same time I'm seeing it, and it should be a pretty cool feature. Maybe at some point we'll do a deep dive. Consider subscribing to the channel. For right now, I'll just let you know that it's there, but it's really only for agencies. It's really, really early beta right now. But to start off going through these 6 core features that are there, they're pretty well developed. Let's start with Funnel AI. So I'm going to hop into a dummy sub account and we'll show you how it works. So I'm down here in the sub account level, and you'll see that I kind of have a similar AI Employee for free call to action page. This is something you can toggle on and off inside of your agency. Now, if you want to have all your clients see the Summer of AI promotion here, opt into it, get some extra free trials or get some extra subscriptions on your AI Employee, feel free to enable it. But you can also turn this off if you don't want your clients seeing this when they log in. Coming down here into sites, we're going to show you how to use Funnels AI here in a second. So in the sites, we're going to go here into new funnel. And if you have AI Employee enabled, you'll see this Funnel AI middle here where it says create new funnel. If the sub account does not have AI Employee enabled, they're only going to see the from blank or from templates. You're only going to see the 2 options. You'll only see the 3rd option if AI Employee is turned on for that sub account. So we're going to continue. All right, so for the name of the business, we're going to use Awesome Music School. We're going to pretend that we're a music instructor here. So inside your industry, you're going to just select it. Massive list here of all kinds of stuff that's there. So say Awesome Music School, music instructor, and you'll see that you have 5 of 5 free generations remaining. So what'll happen is you to give the sub account 5 generations free, and then they start paying for it after that, even if they're not on a trial. Right now, this sub account is set to pay as you go without a trial. So everyone's going to get 5 free to try out. So go ahead. We'll go, I'm looking for a funnel for my music instructor. Business 2, let's get more leads. Probably going to give me an opt-in funnel. Let's actually go for get more appointments. And then the content should feel conversational. I love conversational when it comes into things like that. That copy generally converts better than persuasive or professional. It's just conversational, informal, matter of fact, generally works best. Now we go ahead, we hit generate.
5 minutes later.
All right, so it took about 5 minutes to kind of generate the funnel. I paused the recording there so it wasn't going to be so big. But basically, this is what it generated. right, so it generated a home page, a single page, which is a lot of times what Funnel AI will do. It will kind of just generate one page in a funnel. But this is going to be logo here. It puts that there, gives us this nice guitar background, unlock your musical potential with expert personalized instruction. Start your journey today. If we click the button, what does the button do? It opens the pop-up, and then the pop-up, I'm assuming, has a calendar in there. Oh, has a form in there. So we don't actually have any forms yet. We're just going to use the free course from another one. This is kind of a sandbox account, but we have our form in there that we can go ahead and we can add. That's through there. Unlock your potential, join our awesome music school, unlock your potential, cool, explore our diverse learning program. So what I like about this with the Funnel AI, it's really good if you don't know what pictures to add, right? So if you have something here or you're not really good at layouts, so this is really good for layout. You've got your hero image, you've got your kind of your design here in, what is this, 5 minutes, and you've got all of your stuff that's here. And this is really, really good if you are not a web designer or you just don't know how to find the images that are there. Now, I don't think that Funnel AI is that good of a copywriter. However, if you're a local business and you've got good search presence, good reviews, and a decent social media, you can write whatever you want on your page. It's probably going to convert anyway. But if you're somebody who is an expert, somebody who's an online creator, somebody who is not a local business, somebody who doesn't have that kind of implicit trust with reviews, you're going to want to write better copy than this. But that's why we have Content AI, which is built around pretty much anywhere. But I'm going to show you how to use it here on this headline. Over here on the headline, what we can do is we can actually highlight it, and you'll see this little white sub menu comes in. You come over to here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to highlight whatever text that you want to use Content AI on, and you can come over to here. It says Content AI. There's a little down. You can generate it. You can improve the writing, fix your spelling or grammar, simplify the writing, make it longer, make it shorter. So these are some quick actions that we have here, but let's go ahead and let's go generate with AI. Now the generate with AI is probably where you're going to use most of Content AI. This is if you completely have writer's block, this is going to get you past it. Most people are going to come over here and then just write the content description. So you could say something like, I want a headline for my music school that tells people that I can teach them the guitar, little as 2 weeks. Okay, so our brief content description here is going to be, I want a headline from my music school that explains to high school students that I can teach them guitar in as little as 2 weeks. So I'm saying what I need it for, the high school kids, who the copy is targeted towards, and then what I'm going to teach them in a specific time frame. So that headline, I'm giving Content AI a formula for that headline. It's saying right now that there is no brand voice. I'm going to show you with and without a brand voice, because you can actually upload your brand voice once and then content will always speak in that particular voice. Come down here for additional options. You can add a writing tone and how many variations that you want. But if you go 3 variations, it's going to charge you 3 times for 3 uses of the Content AI. Come into here and let's just say casual. I'm going to use casual here because casual generally is what converts conversational, matter of fact, kind of, here's what works, yes or no if you want it. That's the kind of tone that's going to work. So we come over there, we get 3 variations, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit generate. And now again, this is with no brand voice. Play guitar in just 2 weeks, enroll now. Drum your way to cool. Play guitar in 2 weeks. Master guitar basics in just 2 weeks. I would use this one right over here. Master guitar basics in 2 weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that there, get rid of play guitar, master guitar basics in just 2 weeks. We're going to continue. Now what's going to happen is it goes ahead and just goes and writes our headline right there directly inside of HighLevel. Now, if we want to go through here, we can use if we highlight this and we can go ahead and use the AI, we can say improve writing. It doesn't quite work on headlines, but if you have a big long body copy, and if you have copy that is maybe not great, it doesn't really flow and you just want it to improve it, you can go in there, hit improve writing, and then what it will do is it will fix spelling and grammar, it'll simplify the writing, make it longer, make it shorter. So basically you can just tell it how you want it to change your writing. If you're feeling that something is too clunky, you can just use Content AI to go ahead and smooth everything out. It's really, really nice. Again, you can just use a fix spelling and grammar or just simplify the writing. Now, if for whatever reason you didn't like this image here with the violin and with the sheet music, you can use Content AI to generate a new image for that. So to do that, you would basically click on the image, make it orange, come down here on the bottom right, so where you have the image URL, click that open, and then you'll see the little Content AI guy over here. We'll click that, and then you're going to create an image using AI. So what we're going to do is inside, we're going to go and describe our image, so which says teenagers sitting down inside a classroom playing electric guitar. They're enjoying themselves, smiling at the camera because they just learned how to play their favorite song. In my experience with generative image AI, if you are a little bit more descriptive, because you're probably seeing something in your head that you want here. If you're not, then it might be a little bit harder, but I have kind of a generalized image of what I want to see here in my head. I'm just telling it, I want basically someone sitting in a chair with a guitar on their lap, kind of smiling at the camera because they just learned how to play their favorite song. So I'm just telling AI here what I want. So hopefully it generates exactly what I'm seeing here in my head. Number of variations, I'm going to put 2 variations, but again, know that each image generated is going to incur a cost. Then the style here, I do want a photo. I don't necessarily want art, but if you want art, vectors, dreamlike I think is like Pixar, DreamWorks. If you want to have a different type of style, you can go ahead there. But I'm going to use a photo here because I kind of want something that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate, and we're going to wait for it to do its thing. So I just want to let you know that I've been sitting here for 10 minutes kind of in the selected image. It has failed to generate this time. Let's go ahead, let's generate new content. Let's come into here and let's do one variation this time instead of two. Let's generate. Now, at this point in the review and the guide, I would say that this kind of image content AI is not the greatest. I'd probably just go to ChatGPT to be real with you for images, but this is how you would use it if you had someone who was completely did not want to spend the money on chat, just use HighLevel. Image AI, not quite there, but I figured I would cover it since this is an ultimate guide. So having said that, let's move on to brand voice, because this was clearly not operable right now, when it comes to brand voice, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the marketing tab here on the left. You'll see brand boards up here on the top. So we've got the design kit, which you can actually add all of your colors and logos and stuff. That came out a couple of months ago. But brand voice, this is what Content AI is going to draw off of. So we can go ahead, we can add a brand voice. We can actually text or URL, we can scrape data if we already have a website, or we can start from scratch and enter everything here from scratch. Okay, so once you're inside the brand voice start from scratch screen, take a second to kind of fill it out. Now what I've done here is we're pretending we're a fictitious music school named Awesome Music School. So our website, our name, our type of business, this is all fairly straightforward. But now when you come down into the communication personality, again, friendly, casual, informal tones for me work best. And it's going to ask us about our market positioning. Now you don't have to fill out everything, just these top two. Who are you speaking to? For instance, I wanted to target adolescents who are in high school and college, teaching them how to play guitar because they want to either play their favorite song or they want to attract the opposite sex. So those are the two things that I have there. Identify key challenges, and then brand promise, brand values. We also have, I just kind of filled these in. Customer service, I have someone playing the basics in 2 weeks. I have a 2-week boot camp. Again, this is all fictional. Guitar boot camp, I'm the highest rated music school in my state. Your unique selling proposition, kind of going ahead and filling that out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead, save the brand voice, and we're gonna run that headline again. If we go back, we have our brand voice here. We're gonna come back into sites. We're gonna go find our funnel, our music school funnel here, hit edit. Let's go AI, we'll generate with AI. I want a subheading that explains my unique selling proposition and explains the 2-week guitar boot camp and encourages them. Ends with a CTA. So again, with 2-week guitar boot camp, length of the content, let's just make it medium. Let's keep it small here. So we've got our brand voice. Now, if you refresh your page and you come back to the funnel, we go ahead, we go use our Content AI, we go to our generate, and now you'll see that the brand voice, this is all different than it was before. So brief content description. I want a subheading that explains my unique selling proposition and explains the 2-week guitar bootcamp and ends with a CTA. I'm going to keep that small because it's only a little blob here. And you'll see that our brand voice, we have it checked, so we're going to use it with Awesome Music School. So it already has our target audience, our writing tone, and then additional options. We can make it friendly, 3 variations. Go ahead, let's generate. Let's see what happens. And you'll see that it will be a lot more tailored to our school and more tailored to our brand. Content variation 1, variation 2. This is a good length for this little sub account. Ever dreamed of strumming chords like a pro? Our exclusive guitar bootcamp is your fast track. Again, just go and pick the one that you want. Really. Ready to strum your way to guitar greatness? Embark on a guitar playing journey. Let's just go through here. Let's copy that. Actually, let's kind of bring this one up here. Goes in content, get rid of that. And now we can hit continue. And you'll see that it goes ahead and just enters it into that sub paragraph right there. So that is Content AI. For the copywriter, great. For the image, not so great. The next feature that I want to move to is going to be Workflow AI. Now, Workflow AI is accessed inside of the automation tab here. So automation, you want to go ahead, basically just start a new workflow. We're going to create a new workflow, start this one here from scratch. And once you get into a new workflow, you'll see Workflow AI down here on the bottom left. We're going to open up the window here, and you'll see that it also gives you some credits remaining every day. So whether or not you're on a subscription, there's 29 out of 30 free credits remaining here today. You get 30 actions a day, which is basically a credit is a message back and forth to Workflow AI. Now, for this fictitious workflow, let's just say it's a simple, somebody comes onto a list, we want to tag them as a newsletter, and we want to send a welcome email. So let's just go assist with building. And since this is blank, this is going to be probably a generic message because there's nothing to analyze right now. Okay, here's some you might consider adding. Create contact, add contact tag, send email. So after it analyzes, it's going to go ahead and give you some basic actions here that you can go ahead and do, but we don't know what we want to do just yet. If they don't fit your current needs, it's going to show you actions that you want here to add. So what you can do is I can say, how do I set up an email sequence? We're going to ask it how to do this. So now we're going to select the trigger. Now it's telling us select the trigger, add a first email action, add a wait step, and then add subsequent emails. So what we can do now, here's what we're going to add a wait for 3 days. If we hit the plus here, it'll tell us where to add it, to go in, and then it'll walk us through what we're looking for in the actions menu. Now it will not automatically add or build the workflow for your client or for you. It'll more tell you where to click. So if we can go into here, we go to 3, then go to days. Now if you wanted to ask it a question like how do I add a tag to a contact, you can ask it here. You can go ahead and you can ask it to add a new action, open your workflow, add a new action. It's going to tell you what to do. So if we come over to here, click the add, and then coming down into contact tag, it'll tell you what you're looking for on the left side. So again, this will not build a workflow for you the way that it builds a funnel for you, but it will basically tell you where to click and how to build things manually. Now, the other way that you can use Workflow AI is to optimize a workflow. So for instance, this is something that I have, a social comment automation. Somebody comments on a post, and then what's going to happen, it's going to go and start a DM message, add them to a pipeline, update their name. It's a fairly complex workflow, right? This is to help generate leads through social media. I actually have a full training on this. I'll put a card up here in the corner when that video goes up, but I show you how to build this workflow. But let's say there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of go-tos. We want to use Workflow AI that's trained on this to optimize it. Am I doing this efficiently? So let's click the optimize workflow. And what it's going to do, it's going to actually look at this workflow and it's going to tell me if I'm doing anything better or how I can make it better. So I reduced my wait times. It says I have a lot of 30-second waits. So this initial 30 seconds of wait time, consider I might want to get rid of that to make it run a little bit faster. I can merge actions, implement error handling and fallback steps for scenarios where responses don't meet to avoid workflow stalls, personalization variables, and it will give me kind of a laundry list of things to add to this workflow to make it a little bit better. So Workflow AI, better than AI image generation, but still not quite to the point where it's just going to go ahead and build a workflow for you. But we're getting there, we're getting close. It's really starting to understand the workflow. But where AI Employee really starts to shine are in the last 3 functions. It's going to be your Reviews AI, your Conversation AI, and your Voice AI. Those 3 by themselves are worth the entire cost of AI Employee. So we're going to start here with Reviews AI. So if you're going to go into here, if you go here into Reputation here on the bottom right, inside of Reputation, you will see Settings. And now you'll see under Settings, you'll see Reviews AI up here at the top. And then you'll see Reviews AI up here on the top left. And you'll be brought up to this screen. Now, Reviews AI used to be just basically set it to auto responses or set it to suggestive, and it would let you know how it would respond so you can manually type, or leave it auto responses and it would just respond to every review. Now HighLevel's taken it one step further and you can have multiple staff members, or what looks like multiple staff members responding to reviews, so it looks like it's way more people than there actually is. And that's where they come down here with the Reviews AI agents. As you can see, the legacy Reviews AI, that's everything there, review source, tones, right? That's just basically took the basic and they put it into an agent. What you can do here, if you create agent, you have these different, you can go and prompt an agent and make someone with their own tone, make someone upload your own writing so it sounds exactly like you, or you can use one of their stock agents here. So you've got Solution Sally, who's solution oriented. She'll probably take the bad ones. Axel Dazzle is very playful. Taylor Sailor, Grace Space. So these are going to be people who are going to respond in different ways to different reviews. So what we're going to do though, is you can use the create starter agents. What it's going to do, it's going to take all 5 of those and you're going to have them respond to all of those different reviews. As you can see, it's Google and Facebook. I have them set up. So they're going to respond on both platforms. This is their tone. And then now it also has a filter for 4 stars and above, all reviews, 2 stars and below, 3 stars and above, all reviews. Now you have a reviews team responding to all of these with solutions, people who are playful, people who are professional. And you'll also see as they start to have reviews, it'll start to keep track of how many tickets and how many reviews that they've answered. So you can go in and probably drill down to each of them. If you hit if you use the 3 dots, you can go edit that person. Here's their instructions, here's their tone, their dynamic language, and then you can just make manual adjustments. But for HighLevel, when it comes to reviews, their stock settings are pretty good. So really, you just create your starter agents, I don't need the legacy reviews anymore. We're gonna go ahead and delete. And now I've got 5 agents that are going to answer reviews on this particular account. You can basically create your starter agents, leave it, and just let it run, let it do its own thing. Now, to make sure your agents don't run completely wild, I come down here into spam reviews and I go ahead and I turn that on. So what's going to happen is HighLevel is going to detect if it's a spam review or it's a fake review. It's not going to let the AI agent respond. So a lot of times you've got AI are leaving all these spam reviews with calls to action, and then all the AI agents are going to respond in AI, and you want to avoid that mess. So you have on, hit save over there, and then really that's about it. Just make sure in your integrations, if you want to integrate to all your different platforms here, it used to be just Facebook and Google, but now they can import reviews from really just about any of these platforms, and the list is growing. Last I checked this, I think it was Airbnb, the App Store, and Cars.com and Facebook. Now there's a whole lot. So this list is dynamic. I'm not going to go through each one because this video would be 4 hours long, and they're going to add some anyway. So that's basically what's going to happen here with your review links. You can have them get reviews on all these different platforms. Reviews AI, really, really good product. Now, before we jump back into HighLevel to do Conversation and Voice AI, I want to draw a couple things out here on the board because I was trying to come up with an easy to follow script for this video, and because there's a lot of things that are interlinked. And drawing a picture is better, right? Pictures are always better to understand concepts. So, quick break from HighLevel, we're on the whiteboard, and this is kind of how voice and conversation AI are linked because they draw from the same elements. Now, starting here on the far left of the board, we've actually got our brand voice, which is something that we've already done, right? We've already did that, we did our content AI. We found that inside of the brand board section. Now, knowledge base is a new one. Once we hop back into HighLevel, I'll show you what the knowledge base is. But basically, this is where you're going to train HighLevel's AI on all of your policies, all of your frequently asked questions, all of your documentation, all that stuff is going to happen inside of the knowledge base. And all of that information is going to be fed both into voice AI and conversational AI. And then the brand voice is also going to be pulled into conversational AI so that the bots that you train inside all of the text messages are going to sound like you or sound like somebody who works at your business who's aligned with your brand. So both of those are going to pull into both conversation and voice. Now, conversational AI covers your social DMs on all of the Meta platforms. You've got your Facebook page, your Instagram, and your WhatsApp. It's also going to be active over on text or web chat if you want it to. So a little chat widget on the website, that can be powered by conversation AI, as well as having people text in a certain word or people just texting in your business in general. You can have conversation AI carry on the entire text message conversation back. Now, voice AI we're going to cover last, although not in great detail. I actually have a video up top here. I'll put a card up here for a voice AI video I've done. Basically, voice AI has the incoming phone, which is active now. If somebody goes and somebody calls your business, voice AI will pick up the phone if a human does not. And then they're coming out actually with outgoing voice AI, which is meant to call leads that have opted in. So think if let's say that you're a home service business and you run a Facebook ad, somebody opts in, fills out a form to get an estimate. Rather than you being a human calling that lead, voice AI can actually outbound call that lead instead. Outbound voice AI is not meant for cold calling. It is meant for calling leads that have opted in. So, with everything here, this is kind of the big picture. Let's actually move on to Conversation AI. And here's how Conversation AI works kind of zoomed in. So you've got your knowledge base and you've got your brand board over here on the left. They're both going to feed into every single conversational AI, basically the whole feature of HighLevel. And then once conversational AI is tuned up with these two, you can then use it to create multiple different bots, or they call them agents inside there. And the idea behind having multiple agents or multiple different bots is that think of them like different people that have different job titles. So bot one, agent one could be your customer service, bot two could be your appointment booking, bot three could be your general question and answer kind of default person who answers the web chat. And I'll show you this once we get inside, but you can actually switch between all of these people on a single chat or on a single text thread if the customer needs a specific person. So for instance, on the customer service, you can have someone say, text in the word help, and they'll get in touch with the customer service bot. They could text in the word book, and they'll get in touch with the appointment coordinator to book an appointment, book an estimate for that. And then basically the default is gonna be the general Q&A. So again, we've got knowledge-based brand voice is gonna tune up the whole system. And then within the system, we're gonna have multiple different agents for multiple different things. So with that said, let's hop back into HighLevel and we'll actually go ahead, we'll build some of this out. All right, so we're back here inside of HighLevel, and we want to go ahead, let's set up Conversation AI. So Conversation AI, like we said, draws off of the brand voice, which we did before under the marketing tab. Again, real quick, I'll show you this. If we go into marketing, you go into brand boards up here in the top, and you will see brand voice here where you can go ahead and you can set up your brand voice. This is going to tune up all of your AI in terms of how you talk, what you're offering, and who your audience is. Coming here back into settings, you'll see knowledge base over here. Knowledge base is where you're going to upload all your documentation, give it your website, have it scrape all your web pages, things like that. It's going to keep it consistent, and also because Voice AI is going to draw from this here as well. So what you're going to do is create a knowledge base. We're going to name this one sample 2 for the purposes of this video, but you can have multiple knowledge bases if you have multiple websites and multiple products. You can train multiple agents on multiple programs. We've got right here, we've got the details here of our knowledge base sample 2. We're going to go ahead and save that. If you want, you can add a description so that you can understand as the human, right? You, not necessarily the AI, understanding what's in this knowledge base. Description of knowledge base. We're just going to put that there. Again, put more thought into it. That's here. Coming down here, now you're going to see the web crawler. And what this is going to do, this is going to scrape your website for data and kind of categorize all of it. So there's actually 3 things that you can do. You do the exact URL, which is going to scrape one page and one page only. You can do all URLs with the path, which basically is the path is anything after the slash. So if you wanted anything that contains the path of, again, if you had multiple pages you were split testing, I've not used this before. What I use is the all URLs in this domain. But when you go to here, if you want to scrape your domain, you can scrape the domain there, but you have to include, if your website is on a www, you have to put www in there. Or if you wanted to scrape a blog and your blog is over here, you have to include the subdomain. You can only do one subdomain at a time. So www, we're going to get data. We're going to give it a couple of seconds to run, a couple of minutes to run. It's going to scrape all the pages and it'll come back and tell you what pages it's found. All right, so a couple of minutes later, this took about 2 to 3 minutes to scrape all the pages. My site's not that big, but you can come over here and you see view all pages and it'll show you all of the pages, the 13 pages that it grabbed on my page. I can now either select all, train it on all of my pages, or I can just go select all, hit train bot. And what it's going to do is it's now just going to train the bot on all of my stuff. So that way, when somebody asks questions on customer service or my help policy, something like that, it has all of this knowledge to draw from. Now, while that's doing that, it's training over there. We have our FAQ sections. Now, this is specifically, you're not going to use this in the beginning unless you know that you're going to get asked a certain question, because when you do the Q&As, right, it's going to be pretty much a literal answer. So you'll notice here, what I like to do with the question would be like, what are your hours? Right now, if you did your website right, your hours are probably going to be on your website. But if you notice that people are asking the same 3 or 4 questions every time you go through your sales process, every time you get a lead, people respond. Take note, there's going to be like a half dozen questions that everybody asks. This is what you're going to put here in the frequently asked questions, and then put the answer there exactly how you want the bot to answer, because the bot's probably going to grab this answer verbatim and then put it in the chat. I don't know why, but that's sometimes what happens. So the answer here, answer literally in a copy and paste format right there. So if we go, what are your hours? You would literally put something like, we're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's how you would want to answer that as well. Don't just put like, what are your hours? 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. because it's just going to put 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the chat without any context. And then coming soon, upload files. So if you have knowledge bases, you have PDFs or stuff that you want to upload, it is set to release soon that you can upload files to further train your knowledge base on more and more stuff, so your bot is smarter and smarter. Right now, the workaround is to take any kind of documentation you would upload here in a file, put it on a web page, and have the web crawler scrape the web page, and you'll get the same information into your knowledge base. You're done. Your knowledge base is there, and your bot, for the most part, is trained on your data. When we have that there, it's time now to hop into Conversation AI inside of the settings. We're still inside the sub-account settings. Coming into here, and you'll notice that it is dark, or it's blank for most part. Now, when you create a bot, you're gonna have 2 options. You're gonna have the prompt-based bot or the guided form setup. Now, the prompt-based bot. Now, if you have watched any YouTube on how to train conversational AI bots in the past, this is exactly the same setup. So I'm not gonna go through this here, but if you're comfortable with training the old way, you can do it here with your settings. You have your advanced settings. You've got your bot training, your knowledge base. You're gonna go and select your knowledge base. It has your web crawler. This is how it worked before. What I wanna focus on for this video is the form creation, because that's new. And it's actually a little bit easier to create a bot than using this older function. And now if you click just the blue button, create bot, it's gonna default to the form guided setup. So the only way I saw that was by hitting the down. The prompt base is the old one. The guided form setup is the new one. So if we go guided form, we're gonna make a general Q&A bot. Continue. Our brand voice. We already have our brand voice up there, so we can just select our brand voice, but if we've got multiple, we can change it through there, or we can go ahead and we can create a new one. Now we're gonna hit next. Our bot details are gonna be new employee. We're gonna go Q&A. Sometimes if you give them names of people, it will say, hi, this is name of bots. And now it'll say, this is new employee Q&A. You wanna make this the primary bot. Sometimes if it's your first bot, it's always gonna be the primary, but since we had the other one, we're gonna mark this one here as primary. And now your preferred channels. For me, I generally just want all of my bots on all the channels that I use. So I just leave all of these checked. But if you only want someone to respond on Instagram, you can basically just go and uncheck it. Now this will only work on Instagram. But again, you can leave this here. Now in terms of wait time before responding, defaults to 2 seconds. It takes a few seconds to process. So if you're like, wow, 2 seconds, it's gonna feel like it's a bot. It won't, because there's gonna be probably a 5 or 10 second processing time before the first message there spools up. So keep 2 seconds is fine. Any longer and it's gonna be like, did they ghost me? Why are they not getting my message? And if you want, you can go ahead and you can put the initial message in here, or you can just use the generic. The generic reading seems to be fine. We're gonna skip that for now. We'll hit next. Next, we come up here to our bot goals, which again, HighLevel has done a really good job at making this really accessible and easy to understand for a person who is not technical, who's not familiar with AI. So what happens here is the goals, anybody who messages in, you want to grab their information because it's a potential lead. So what you're doing here, it defaults the name, email, phone number that it wants to gather from people. These are goals that it wants to go and grab. If you're doing somebody who's more info products online, or you're doing a coach, maybe you don't want to grab the phone number, but if you're a local business, absolutely try to go ahead and grab the phone number as well. Street address, city, you can get it if you want, if you're doing shipping and e-commerce and things like that. For the average person chatting into a website, they're probably not willing to give this up. And down here, you'll notice here are all the other objectives as well. And then what contact field, when they get achieved, what does it want them to update? So ask the user for their name, update the name. Ask for their email, ask for their phone. You can add a custom question if you want, like what's their marketing budget? And then you could have a custom field that's basically sets up on a marketing budget if you want to do something like that. That's totally up to you. Just the question or objective you want it to ask, and you don't have to do it literally how you want the bot to ask, but kind of let it know what that is. And then have your update contact field here, a corresponding custom field that you want it to update after they get that answer. Now, something I'll always check on is that skip if already filled, because if somebody chats in and their browser cookies are already there and it knows that it's Joe Smith, it's not gonna ask Joe. It'll say, hey Joe, welcome back, or something like that. It won't ask that question. It won't waste the message trying to get information that it already has, especially if it already knows Joe's phone number and Joe's email. He just has a question about something else. If it already knows that it's Joe, they won't ask that question again. Now, as a general Q&A bot, not an appointment booking bot, you could enable appointment booking or not. Generally for Q&A bots, I would not have them go for appointment booking. And then notification settings, 100%. If the bot doesn't know the answer to a question, have it notify somebody in the agency so that they can jump in the conversation and answer it for them. Check that one on. And then for me, I would usually either have a specific user if you have somebody who's a single admin, or if it's just me, I just put all admins because it's just me and my sub account. Or you can have contacts assigned user if you have a larger team with salespeople, whatever it is. So that's what you're going to go ahead and have that there. Hit save. And now we've created a bot for Conversation AI. I would go ahead and I would run this on autopilot. So this is anytime that you get a message, it is going to respond via that channel automatically. Go hit save and close. Now we've got a bot there. If you wanted to go and you wanted to create an appointment booking bot, you would also set up a calendar in there as well. So if we go here, create bot, appointment booking, it's going to look very similar. Brand voice, bot settings is all going to look very, very similar. So we're going to keep kind of glossing over it. But the difference is now the appointment details are going to be down here. It's going to check the appointment booking that's here. Where you're basically going to go when you're going to select the workflow if you want to trigger it after an appointment booking, which generally would be appointment booked, and then have your calendar here. And again, this is a sandbox account, so there's random stuff in there. But yeah, so select your calendar, select there, and then have the I don't allow the bot to cancel the appointment. I don't allow it to reschedule it. Actually, I do allow it to reschedule it, but I don't allow it to cancel appointments. I want humans to cancel appointments. It's very, very simple to use with the new form setup. You can get stuff done really, really quickly. Now, in the workflow, I said that you can change between bots. So if we come over here, we go back into the automation section over here. If you create a workflow, really any workflow, start from scratch. You can add, if you go to select an action and you just start typing Conversation AI, you'll see update Conversation AI bot and status. Inside here, you can actually change. Let's come over to here and let's go, and we're going to say the customer replied, and it is an exact match phrase that says, they come in and they say help. right? Your default bot is your appointment booker, but if they need help, they're going to get to the customer service bot. This is someone replies with the word help. What can happen is that it goes to Conversation AI bot status, and you can basically just say, go to new employee Q&A, update bot status to active. And what's going to happen, it's going to flip them from the primary appointment booking bot into the Q&A bot instead. You can have different triggers, how people respond in your workflows, your if ands, and you can use this action to flip between different bots. Likewise, if you don't want your bots to run, what you can do now is, let's say that you have an appointment. All right, I use this as a fail-safe for my bots because sometimes people will set an appointment in direct response to what the Conversation AI bot does. And if that doesn't happen, sometimes the bot will not see the appointment and just keep trying to book. What you can do is you can go customer or appointment status is confirmed, right? So this is any confirmed appointment in the system. What will happen is we use this update Conversation AI bot in status, and we can basically just go keep the same, but change it to inactive. Do not reactivate the bot. Or if you want it to reactivate, you can reactivate it after a pause. But I generally, if I got an appointment from that particular bot, deactivate it and do not reactivate it for that customer again. Our bots are not gonna run crazy now. That's a nice little automation workflow that you can go ahead and use, a little action in there that you can keep your bots in check manually. Now, Voice AI is the crown jewel of the AI employee. This is probably the most mind-blowing, kind of sexiest feature on there, and it's relatively simple to set up using HighLevel natively. Now, to access the Voice AI, we go into sub-account settings, and you'll see Voice AI agents right here, just underneath the knowledge base. And again, assuming we have our knowledge base on our brand voice done, it's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting that we can go ahead and set up our bots. So we have Voice AI agents. We're going to go ahead and we can create an agent, and there's a couple of different ways to do it. Now, I've done a deep dive video on how to set up a Voice AI agent, put a card up here on the corner, show you where that is. But right now I want to focus on the basics because this is more of a guide and overview, but there's a deep dive how to go through and do the programming. I put a video right up here. Give your agent a name because this is what it will say when it answers. So give it a human name. Business name, you have your own business name here. We've got your language in English. You can actually have a bunch of different languages here. Multilingual English and Spanish. Right now we're going to have English because I think 99% of you watching are English speaking, but we go English, and then the voice, they actually have a bunch of voices that you can go and use. Some of them are better than others. What you're going to do here is just go hit, say, Autumn Vale, and then hit play. And I just realized I'm not using the input, so you guys couldn't hear that. But yeah, you can go ahead, play the voice, pick a voice, and then time zone, make sure your time zone is in the same time zone as you. If you have a different time zone than what you're in, your appointment booking is going to be all wrong. So I'm on the East Coast of the US right now. We're GMT -4, so that's where that is. And again, right now, HighLevel's only doing inbound, but outbound is coming soon. The initial message, they have a, hey, you've reached business name, how can I help you today? That's a fair as a default message to go, but if you want to personalize this, hey, this is, thanks for calling, whatever you want them to say verbatim, they're going to say this verbatim every time on the first message. Now on the next screen, you've got the knowledge base. Now once you select the right knowledge base, it's now going to train the bot on all of the processes of your business. You don't have to load anything up manually like you used to about 6 months ago. When to use the knowledge base? Use this knowledge base if the user asks any questions about the business, services, products, details, other relevant information that requires accessing the wiki to provide up-to-date information. I don't see a reason to change that. HighLevel, again, they've put a lot of time, money, and resources into this so that you don't necessarily have to mess with it, which I love. Name to collect from the email. Yes, name, email, and then the issue. 100% always grab the issue because that's going to be the reason why they call. You don't just want to get a name and email and then not know why they called, because that follow-up call becomes really, really awkward. So grab their issue, grab their name and their email, and then trigger workflow when the call is completed. So if you want to trigger a workflow to basically to a coordinator or to somebody else, you can go ahead and do that if you have other workflows that you want to, when somebody gets off the call, but that's on every single call, regardless of the outcome. So I generally leave that unchecked because right here, the email notification from the post-call completion to all of the admins will fire. And that email that you get, that report summary that you get, is going to look something like this. So what's going to happen is you're going to get an email from AI employee, and then you're going to say something that's going to say AI call recap. And then every time that there's a call, it'll say handle another call for Meet Emma or your whatever your white label is. It'll show you the caller's number, the number that they called, how long it, and then who the agent that answered the phone was. And then it gives you a summary and then a transcript. So every single time that handles a call, you're going to get this summary every time, which makes it really easy because you kind of know what's going on and there's not a lot to build in terms of workflows. Slide a switch and check a box. It's easy enough. When that's done, you can go ahead and hit next. And then when that's done, you now have an agent that you can go ahead and you have someone who's going to answer the phone. Now you can customize your details through here. That's over here. The agent goals, you can actually change those over here. You can also switch into advanced mode, which if you switch to advanced mode, you can now start adjusting the prompt if you know how to prompt an AI bot. Now, for most people, you're probably not going to get a better result than what HighLevel has already programmed in for you. I've tried numerous times. You check my old video on Voice AI, it was okay at best. I switched over to basic mode. I actually got a better result. If you know how to prompt, but if you don't worry about it. Just use the basic mode and you're gonna be okay. And then again, setting up the actions during the call, after the call, you can get really granular with what it does. But for most people, 90% of people using this, leave it in basic mode and you're gonna be okay. Phone availability, if you want this person to only be on, or this agent to only be on certain numbers at certain hours, you can go ahead and you can do it. This account doesn't have a phone number attached to it, but this is what you're gonna do is you're just gonna put it on certain numbers. So if you wanna have a help desk line and a sales line, you can put a sales agent on a sales line and a help desk bot agent on a help desk line. You can go ahead and do that as well. And then again, you can set working hours for the agent. For me, I just leave it working 24/7. Why wouldn't you do that? Because people will pay money to have overseas answering services all hours of the night. Just leave the hours 24/7. That's generally what I do. Dashboard and logs. What this will do is as you start getting calls, it'll tell you who got called, what was triggered, what the sentiment was, and it will give you reporting on your Voice AI calls. And then in terms here, if you want to test your agent and see what it is. Now, what you're going to do here to test your agent, you actually select the number to call from, but this sub account doesn't have a number in it just yet. But what you're also going to do is then have it put in your cell phone number and then hit call me. And then you'll be able to hear the phone. Again, in that older video I did on Voice AI, I'll put the card up in the corner or link in the description. You can go watch it, how the training works. But that's how you're going to go ahead and train that Voice AI bot there. Now, I should add that before we close out the Voice AI, to my knowledge, you cannot have multiple agents on one phone number. So you can create as many agents as you want, but you can only have one agent on a phone number at a given time. So if you are gonna do somebody who's dedicated sales and dedicated customer service, you're gonna have a sales and a service phone number. But now let's move on to pricing. All right, so let's talk about pricing. Now I'm here at the agency level on the agency screen during their Summer of AI promotion. HighLevel occasionally will do these promotions where they offer AI Employee free for 30 days. You can go ahead and try. Basically, there's two ways to pay for it. You can either pay as you go, which is basically pay per use, and then there's also an unlimited subscription that you can pay a flat fee of $97 as the agency owner and get access to everything, unlimited uses for free. Now, if you are just messing around with this and you're not really using it heavily, your usage charges will be way less than 97 bucks. I think mine and the kind of sandbox accounts playing around with it, not really doing a whole lot of lead volume, I think my average AI usage charge is like $5 to $10 a month. Now, to show you where to access all the pricing and the reselling screens here inside of HighLevel, coming down here, again, agency level, come down here into agency settings, and then come over here on the left side, you will see AI Employee. Click the AI Employee, and once you click the AI Employee, you will be shown this particular screen here. Okay, so on the screen that you're going to see here with AI Employee, you can actually manage your offer that you are putting out to your sub accounts for the unlimited plan as well as the pay per use. So this little manager offer up here on the top right, click on that, and this is actually AI Employee offer settings. New accounts will automatically get this offer. Old accounts, if you have agency clients before you activate AI Employee, I think it is, you have to manually update them. I'm not 100% sure how that worked, full transparency. Sometimes they generally don't upset what's happened before an update. Your offer is over here on the left side, the right side here. So your subscription here, HighLevel is gonna bill you $97 per sub account. So if you've got 10 sub accounts, you're gonna be billed $970 per month if you want to activate it on all of those accounts. However, if you have rebilling enabled because you are on the SaaS plan, you're on the $497 plan, you can charge higher than $97 to your clients. For me, I mark it up roughly double. My people on my unlimited plan, they pay $200 a month for the AI Employee Unlimited. So I will profit as the agency $103 per month. Now for pay per use, you'll see that I also have the 2x markup. I basically just double the wholesale price, and that is my retail price. It makes it really easy to kind of keep track in my head of what's being charged. But what we're gonna do here, let me show you, I'll go over here to 1x. This is gonna show you what you get charged as the agency. So if you as the agency want to bill a higher monthly, if you're a multi-$1,000 full agency pricing, I'm not. My SaaS is only charged about $149 a month. So I have rebilling on my AI costs. But if you're somebody who's charging multi-$1,000 a month, as an agency to absorb those costs for your client, this is what you'll get charged. So it's 13 cents a minute you'll get charged charged for the voice AI calls. I think those are a 15-minute limit now. They keep upping the limit as the technology gets better. Conversation AI, every time they send a message via text message or social media, it's 2 cents a message. But it's also important to note that if you're sending conversation AI messages via text messages, also going to get billed for the text. So it'll be 2 cents for the AI. I think it's 1.5 cents for the text. So it'll be 3.5 cents a text if they are conversation AI texts. Just that's important to note. And you go like, oh my God, why did my text cost triple? That's why. So you're getting charged for the conversation and you're getting charged for the text as well. Reviews AI, it's 8 cents per response. And then funnel and website AI cost for every funnel or website that you go ahead and build, it's going to be $1 or 99 cents for the entire funnel to be built in seconds. And then content AI is 9 cents per 1,000 words or 6 cents per image is what you get charged as the agency. And then workflow assistant cost after the free credits that you get, it's 2 cents per minute to use the workflow AI. Now what I do is I go ahead and double that so you can see these are the prices that all of my clients get charged when they use it on my white label. But you as the high level agency owner, you get charged half of this. And again, I think you can go the maximum you can set here is 10, although I don't know if anybody's ever going to be using 10x charges, but I keep mine at 2 and that's fine. Also, I will say on the screen here as your offer, this is another place where you can go ahead and enter my affiliate code if you want to right down here. If you put dombavaro17 down here and then hit the apply referral code, I will unlock all of the bonuses that I get. They're actually linked in the description below. If you want to go ahead and do that, it does not cost you a thing. And then once you change it, you basically go ahead, you hit save offer now, and that's going to activate your new offer. Now that's how you're going to manage AI employee pricing and rebilling for your existing sub accounts. It's inside of this particular screen. Now for new accounts, you have to add this into your SaaS configurator. So if we go back and we're going to go into our SaaS configurator, and once in our SaaS configurator, we can either add a plan. I'm not going to add a plan. I'm going to play here in the settings. You go to edit details of your plan, and then you can come over here into add-ons. If you want to add AI Employee Unlimited to every new sub account, you're going to go into add-ons, you're going to click here AI Employee. And then what you'll do is you'll hit save. And what this is going to do is this is going to add an additional $97 charge a month from HighLevel to you, the agency. So for instance, on this particular basic plan of mine, I have it set at $149 a month. So what's going to happen is HighLevel is going to charge me $97 and I'm going to collect $149 from the customer. So at this price point, I'm only profiting $49 per month. So if you're going to go ahead and you want to add this on to your AI employee, make sure you're adjusting the pricing of your SaaS plan so that you have enough to cover that cost and hit your profit target. Just by clicking this one on here does not just enable it for free. It's going to charge you $97 for every single sub account that you have this on with. So again, adjust your pricing. But if you don't want to give everybody unlimited, because in my experience, few people really use it enough for the unlimited, but if you want to keep things, flat fees for your customers, fine, right? Give them unlimited and charge them for it. But if you come down here into rebilling, you can come in and actually change the markup on all of the individual services here for AI employees. So for instance, Funnel AI, I have that set there at 2, Reviews AI is set at 2, Conversation Voice AI is set at 2, Content AI is set at 2. You can go in and you can set all of these markups individually for your new sub accounts. So rather than giving them AI employee all at once for unlimited, you can individually select features that you want to give them and then set the markup individually. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Save it for future reference if you want to go through AI employee in the future. And once again, if you use my affiliate code dombavaro17, I'll put it right here on the screen. If you enter that when you activate your AI employee for the agency, you'll get access for all of my bonuses listed in the description. And if you want to keep watching me here on YouTube with more Go High Level training, I've actually put videos up here in the corners for you to go ahead and check out. Either way, I'll see you in another video.